Hi, Henry Cameron. Thank you so much for coming on to share with us a bit about 3Hearts meeting, because you've been to more than one meeting now. How many meetings have you been to now? 4 or 5?
Gosh, 5 maybe?
Yeah, I think so. And I just
Yeah.
thought it would be wonderful for you to share with everybody, what you think of it, what your experience of it, and yeah, I just thought I make an opportunity for us to have a conversation, and yes, share away, share away.
Well, anytime you come back to something, there's a reason, right? And for me, I think it's very refreshing to not only come together with a circle of people who are heart-centered and really um, are uplifting people, and they're positive people and want to be helpers in the world. And I resonate with that feeling right now. We need helpers in the world. And this, it's, I always leave the meetings feeling uplifted, feeling more hopeful, certainly more positive, and like I'm expanding my global community. I don't know if you've counted how many people come from different places around the world who attend the meetings, but I can name at least 5 or 6 countries.
We have all 6 continents. We were joking, the only
Yeah,
place we haven't got anybody is Antarctica. So if
yeah.
we invite a penguin, if we invite a penguin, then we have everyone from all continents. Yeah, it is amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
It's great. So yeah, I mean, I think that the things that we talk about and the games that we play that are very simple, but it really holds up a mirror to one another. We get to not only see each other reflected, but we also get to see ourselves reflected in the eyes of others, if that makes sense.
Isn't it
Uh,
amazing? And the games are so simple, right? The
they're
games are
very,
simple. And
yeah,
that's what I love about 3Hearts. In fact, everything I do is based on simplicity, because simplicity is what allows us to take action and move forward. Complexity is what stops us. And so
that's right.
I love it how the games are so simple and we all have so much fun. Sometimes it's just that we don't have the chance to be childlike or just to be cheerful, or
Yeah.
to be creative in our everyday busy life. We're getting more and more busier and life getting more serious, with so many agendas, so many topics, and
Yeah.
so many things going on. We're getting more and
Well,
more serious.
that's not to say that there are not serious moments that we find
That's so
together,
true.
right? And
Sometimes
we
we
talk
cry
about,
together.
yeah, and it's just so refreshing to be in a space where you can feel safe enough to even among strangers express your deepest self, your authentic self.
And
Positive and negative, highlight and low light, all of those things. But I love that the thrust of it and the focus of it is on positivity. We may
yes.
touch on the things that are a drag in our lives. We're all going through tough
Mm.
times right now. And what I appreciate about these 3 Hearts meetings is that it doesn't gloss over the challenges that people are experiencing in the world right now. We meet them, we hold them, and we appreciate them. And do you find, I found almost every single time that somebody expresses a challenge, that they always come away finishing their expression with a positive. Like, I feel challenged by this, but it's giving me an opportunity to do that, right? There's always that positive side of things. And I think that that's a quality that certainly you have and that people pick up on and emulate. But they're
and
also
and
that way as well.
yeah, and I'm so pleased that it has come out that way, because that's what we intended. What we intended is that you can complain about life as much as you want, but what does it serve in the end? What we want to do is we want to be heard. We want to share the lows and the challenge, because that's reality of life. It doesn't matter who you are. There's no biases. We all get our own fair share of life's challenges. But what then do we do with it? How else can we move forward besides positivity? So that's why we get to uplift each other. It's just so beautiful, isn't it? Like in such a simple way that
Yeah.
we, excuse me, that we help uplift each other to move forward. Yeah. So,
Well, and yeah, we're all human beings, and we all have feelings,
and
and
that's
those feelings
exactly
are
why we need to celebrate as well as share the challenges, the lows and the challenges, because that's life. As a human, we go through emotions, you know, highs and lows together all at the same time. And that's why the meetings allow us to do that. And most importantly,
yeah.
to celebrate each other, you know, like when there's a moment that, you know, we go through life, gets so busy, we forget our wins and we forget to celebrate ourselves. And so it's good that we get to celebrate with each other. No
Well,
matter how
we
small
find
our wins are.
that universal humanity, you
Yes.
know, that quality of humanity. When I work with clients, I tell them very often, this is something I find myself saying almost the same thing to everybody, is feel your feelings, but know that you don't have to live there. Feel them in the moment, but you don't have to live there, right? You get to decide what you carry or not carry forward through your life. And what I like about this is that it's so positive, it's so upbeat and authentically so. But then there's this moment of expressing whatever you need to express, the challenge or the downside or the sadness or you know, low light or whatever. And that's like a pressure valve release. It doesn't have to build up inside of you, and you don't have to spin it in your head over and over. You get to express it and feel heard. It's received, and nobody in the room is taking it. And it's not therapy. It's just a great exchange between other human beings. And it's like I say, it's a reflection that we all carry these same forces within
And
us.
it's a basic connection that makes us human, to be able to share with
Connection.
another
It's
person
all about connection.
authentically, being who we are. We didn't have to pretend to be somebody else.
No.
And this is exactly why I intend for it to be as a preventative measure to address mental health issues. Because just like you said, when we build it all up inside, we ruminate, you know, that's when we compile up our thoughts and emotions, especially when it's negative. And it's the beginning of all the downward spiral of the negative. So what we want to do is to address it as life happens. Then we get to clear our head, clear our minds, and feel lighter to go forward. And
yeah, and
so you were going to say something.
there's so much negative connected to technology right now. We are always on in Zoom meetings, which can be exhausting. We are looking at the news all over the world, right? And we're constantly, and not to mention the pressures of everyday life, right? Family and obligations and all that. It can be a lot for people right now. And it is a lot for people right now to have this space to come into, these 3Hearts meetings, these 3Hearts global meetings, is a place that's like an island of peace that you can come to and be with good people and express yourself authentically and be received authentically. I love that. I have not found that anywhere else, really, that you have this sacred space where people can come, be heard, be appreciated, contribute, receive, give, right? All in that 1
And
hour, right?
fun and creative
And
and fun.
fun, creative and fun. Yeah, I
Creative
know.
and fun.
We made a little.
we all got to be superheroes at one time.
Yeah,
And how
yeah.
we got to share our voices, how we want to contribute to the world. And, you know, we all get to have a moment to think what we really want to use the $1 million for. A lot of people want the $1 million, but you really don't know what you want it for, right?
That's right.
We have someone say, oh yeah, maybe business, maybe this, maybe that. At the time, he might not know, but once you go away, you think more of it. What do you really want the $1 million for? How will it serve you? You know, it's basically we talk about things that we don't normally get to think about, and that's what the fun bit and refreshing, right? It's surprise and refreshing.
It is. And, you know, somebody said in the last meeting, which I really appreciated, and I don't know if you were there for it, but she said, you know, I do a lot of networking meetings that are business related. I'm trying to promote myself. I'm trying to find collaborators or, you know, people to help, you know,
she helps
advertise what I'm
authors.
trying.
Yes.
Because we're all movers and shakers. We're all trying to do things, but this is not the place for that. And she felt like this was a place where, you know, those connections very often I've found with 3Hearts do happen after the fact. Right?
Without
People
even
will
knowing.
automatically,
It's not,
without
it's
even
a
knowing
byproduct. It's a byproduct of us coming.
It's not the product. It's not the product. It's a
it's a
byproduct.
reward almost, in a sense, right? For us coming together, being our authentic self, because people all want to do business with people who they know, like, and trust. It's way better than you investing time and money in marketing, from my point of view, because we know business had happened. And you have gained so-called clients for your interviews, or guesses for your interviews. And so, yes, it is very an innovative way of addressing mental health without actually saying the word mental health.
Right, because it's not a therapy group.
No,
it's not group
we
therapy.
Don't counsel, we don't coach, we don't fix things, because it's self-empowerment. We believe in self-empowerment.
But it is therapeutic inherently.
Very much so, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like a bath. Think of a bath. You can take therapeutic baths, but inherently a bath is therapeutic. You lay down in the bath and it's like, you know, you get to relax.
I love how you describe that.
Inherently therapeutic, but, you know, in a normal sense, a bath isn't therapy unless it's prescribed to be. Very similarly, these 3Hearts meetings are therapeutic in their way, just naturally, but they're not meant to be therapy. And I appreciate that personally, because I think that, you know, we all have our biography, we all have our stories, we all have our challenges, whether we're dealing with mental health challenges ourselves or we're working with people who are. This is a place that is, like I say, it's like a sacred space. You come in and the air is different. The quality of the connection is different than you would have with a coworker or the lady at the bank or your grocer, right? The quality of the connection is very different with 3Hearts that I found, and that keeps me coming back.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I don't know if you remember, we also have a member who came for the very first time, share the most intimate stories. It's just amazing, isn't it? And how we were able to hold a space for her, and healing was happen, and just amazing. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience. Yeah.
You're welcome.
If anybody was to say, like, how does it address mental health? Would you be able to share, like, in a brief description to say how?
Well, I think it provides a space that is not readily available anywhere that I've seen in the world. I think mental health is way underserved and underfunded. And, you know, just like in my theater work, I tell my actors, don't come here to use this process as therapy. Let it be therapeutic, but don't impose your therapy onto the rest of the people in the group. So in that sense, I think we are all bringing our full selves to the table. And anyone who's a first timer coming there is going to feel that right away. They're going to feel that this is a fun, accepting, loving group with integrity and people who are going to be there to serve one another and to hear and, like you say, hold a place for one another. What that does for mental health, I think, is similar to what a hug does for mental health. It allows one to feel held
Mm.
and allows one to hold. And in this time of crisis in the world with this pandemic where we can't touch each other, a virtual hug is better than no hug.
I can feel it. I can feel it. You know, I'm a sensor. I feel things very quickly. Thank you for sharing that. That is so beautiful. Yeah, it's such a shame that, you know, we can no longer hug, and through this meeting we actually feel that we really holding each other, you know. We can really sense it, can't we, you know, in the meeting, and it's just so beautiful. Yeah,
I
thank
feel
you
hugged
so.
when I leave the meeting. I feel hugged, like I've been
Oh,
hugged and
that
I've
is
been
so.
able to be the
Yeah.
hugger that I am.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you, and I'll see you
Thank
at the
you for
next
asking. I
meeting.
appreciate it.
Thank you.